Alrighty, guys, welcome back to the Caucus Challenge recap. Tonight, we are going to be recapping episode 5 of season 17, Leader of the Pack. We have two guests with us tonight. We have back again Cam. How are you, Cam?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, all right. I'm ready to get into this recap because we saw a lot of tears this episode from you. So,
Please don't remind me.
and for the first time this season, we have Clay. How are you today, Clay?
I am doing great. Enjoying this season. Glad I could finally make it here and ready to talk about it.
I'm excited to have you guys here tonight. So let's hop right into it. Um, we have Okay, so first off, let's start off by we finally make it to day 2. But right before we get to day 2, it's the final elimination. How the episode starts off, it's the final elimination before um day 2. And I do want to give a shout out to Tootie Low because they have been here every week showing love.
I
So
love Trudy. That's my
so
girl.
so much loyal supporter. The love does not go unnoticed. But yeah, so we start off the episode with right after the Secret Six decide to blindside Jason and Nate, sending them into elimination against each other. And it's Cam crying, Joel crying, their alliance coming to comfort them. So before we get into, the tears and the behind the scenes, Clay, what was it like saying Jason's name? Like, give us a little backstory about the decision you made. Do you still stand by it? I saw in the episode you and Mike constantly saying, like, we always get screwed, we have to do this first, we have to change our game. So what about your game did you have to change this season?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, the decision itself wasn't that hard. Both Jason and Nate were to me the most physical, um, some of the most physical rookies of the season. So, and then for Jason, I feel like he was an all around. I knew he was an all around from the very beginning. So for me, putting them in was not a hard decision. Now I did have a moment where I told Jason, and I can't remember exactly what I told him or how I went about it, but I did tell him if he did something, there was a way that I could not say his name. But I can't remember exactly what it was or even how it was going to work out. I tried to remember with the episode of like how it could have worked out, but I do remember going to Jason and saying, if you can get them to say this name, I can maybe save you. And I don't remember exactly what that was, but it was pretty much impossible. I knew that it wasn't going to happen, and I knew that I would be saying Jason and Nate going against each other at some point.
So did that thing that you told, the name you gave to Jason, was it like a decoy, like it was never going to happen, or if it actually happened, would it be able to happen?
No, if it actually, I think it was Steven. I would say it was probably Steven. That would make sense to me because at that point, I do think it was kind of established that me and Steven were going after each other. So I think I had told him, like, if you can get them to do Steven, then I can say Nate. And that would keep Jason out. But I'm not 100% sure. I could be completely wrong on that. I do. Maybe if Jason's in later, we can ask him. Because I do remember telling him something, but it was like something that if he pulled off, I would be impressed and keep him safe. But I didn't think it was going to happen.
Gotcha. So you end up saying Jason's name. The house ends up saying Nate's name. It's a blind side. Cam, you were crying. You said this game has been emotional. What about this game was so emotional? Why were you crying in that moment?
The game was it was emotional at that point for me because I was making moves that I never made before in the game, as you can see. In my rookie season, I was out third, and then also I didn't have like I wasn't very social. Like the only person that I talked to was Choice. So like any decisions that we made was between me and Choice. So I didn't really have like that gameplay. So now that I'm actually playing the game, strategizing, and making these moves, it was like taking a toll on me. And especially because the reason I was crying is because me like we were all, if you look on the episode, we were all sitting on the couch before the deliberation, and me and Nate were talking, and I was saying, basically saying like, I'm not gonna say your name, like we're cool, it's water under the bridge, like it's whatever, you know. And then I got pulled aside, um, and they were like, okay, you have to say Nate's name. So I was like, what? Like, why am I saying Nate's name? The whole reason, the whole reason it made me emotional is because it was my integrity. Like, if I just gave you my word and said, I'm not gonna say your name, I'm not gonna do this to you, and then I have to turn around and do it, I didn't feel good about that at all. Like, it kind of made me sick to my stomach. I was like, ugh, I don't like this feeling. Like, it's just way too much for me.
So you think it was just the fact that you were promising him, not promising, but telling him like, "Hey, you're good," and then like having to go back on your word?
Yeah, because when I was told to say Nate's name, I was coming back to tell Nate, hey, it's a change of, not a change of plan, but like we're gonna have to say your name. This is what's gonna happen. But I didn't get that opportunity too, so it made me feel like I was being like a snaky person to him.
Gotcha. So I know there was a lot of behind the scenes talk about the pack saying if anybody flips and fucks up this plan, it could be you going in. Clay as the alpha. If Cam, Zay, or Joel had voted the opposite way, would you have changed your vote?
I 100% feel that at that point, had one of them said a different name or done something like that, I would have said their name. Just for the reason that why are you doing that whenever this is what's best for the pack? For the Secret Six. Second of all, if you're looking out for yourself that much that you're willing to do that whenever the Secret Six has decided on this and kind of told you this is what's going to be, then you're looking out for yourself too much, and you got to look out for yourself in elimination. So I
Mm-hmm.
can't. Working together, like you have to be a little bit unselfish in that when you're working together that closely, like we were, and having someone that's super selfish or is only looking out for themselves, it's not going to be a good alliance member for me.
Okay, awesome. So, yeah, let's talk about alliances a little bit. You both have, in the past played very solo, played on the outs. I think we've seen a different side of your gameplay, both of you, this season. So, do you guys want to talk about that? Like, what specifically made you guys socialize this season and come in with an alliance and a strong alliance at that?
I let Clay go. No cookie.
Um, it's definitely been different than the way I played before. I think I've played many seasons where I've played alone or I've played with very few people and very distant people. I haven't really had solid people. I think that coming to this season, getting reached out to by the people that I felt like I could trust, as we've seen in the episodes, Mike and me were not on the best terms coming into this season. And so that was the only person that I was kind of weary about at first. But I just think that everything worked out perfectly for the Secret Six. I think it was formed at the right time where we didn't have too much time or too little time before the season. It was the right people where, nobody got on our nerves. Like, I think it worked in the pre stuff to be good during the season. And I think that one thing changing for that could change the entire season.
Okay. And Cam?
Um, Coming into this season, I wanted to play different, especially because I'm coming in by myself. Like I don't have a partner this time. So coming in by myself, I had to really think about like how do I want to play this game? And then of course, like we all didn't really know each other. Well, I didn't know everyone except for Mike and Kevin, but even on my rookie season, me and Kevin got into it. So it was like we was hesitant about working with each other, but it worked out. Me and Mike, nobody. Well, we didn't even talk. So like it was different personalities all mixing together to make this big like alliance that really worked. That was working. So like coming into it, I was thinking like I need to be more social. I need to talk to people. I need to like get out of my shell and actually play the game.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely do see the improvement in both of your games. So I definitely think from a fan perspective, you should be proud of yourselves. And I think you guys are killing it individually and in the Secret Six. So we hop right into this elimination. I know you guys were weary as well about it being a blind elimination and potentially like a twist going on. So, Clay, what did you think was going on because you guys couldn't watch the elimination?
Yeah, any type of change in this game, any type of like, this is different from the last round. Why is it different? Your mind starts to wonder. You just think, okay, they must be changing something. Something's different. So who knows what all I thought it was going to be? I probably thought somehow they were both coming back, or maybe they were going against somebody else, or with Dre Media, you never know what's going to happen. With the Caucus Challenge, you never know what the twists are going to be. And so once something changes like that, without a clear reason of why it's happening, your mind's going to speculate on different things.
For sure, we always are throwing in random ass twists and trying to stir up the game. So I don't blame you. I think that would be a rookie mistake to not be thinking outside the box. But before we move on, we do have another guest here. So I'm going to add him to the stage. Let's welcome Sivo.
Oh my gosh, it's a ghost. I'm just kidding.
What's up, Sivo?
Hey,
Tonight.
It's
chill.
Mr. Confessional Gangster himself. Everybody.
Look, someone has to be at this season. Brady's not here, so I had to take over.
Oh, not Brady. Oh, I like the hair. It looks good. Loving the platinum.
Thank you. It matches the jersey.
Yes, in style for the season. So,
Yes.
what's up, Sivo? We were just talking about the elimination and like getting into the episode. Did you have any thoughts before we move on from the topic of, being blindsided and that those vets that you were working with when they turned on Nate and Jason?
Um, I actually I thought it was probably gonna be something physical that you guys didn't want us to see at first. That's why it was gonna be a blind elimination. So I was under the impression that that's what it was gonna be. So I was like, oh, physical. I think Nate got physical in the bag. But either way, like regardless, one of the people who I was working with since round 1 and 2 and everything, one of them was coming back regardless. So yes, I was blindsided. And now to clear everything up, which I did hear from multiple sources, Nate did vocalize that Jason can say his name, which even though I was right there, I did not hear it. And I stand by that because I did not hear it. And I even spoke to Jason and I even let him know I did not hear Nate say that because I think I was in that moment like, why is everyone just throwing in the rookies then? I thought that's not what we were going to do. I thought it was all vote Steven, vote Steven. So, but yeah, everything now is like cleared up.
So my question to you is, if you thought that they were supposed to you guys were all supposed to be voting Steven, what from your point of view, who was going in against Steven?
Who was going in against Steven? I felt like they were going to pick a rookie. I was always nervous. Every elimination, I was like, someone's going to say my name. I'm going to be the one thrown in because I felt like I was kind of like the bottom of like a totem pole in a sense. Like I said in one of my confessionals, where I didn't really know where I lied with people. But come to find out, with some people who may have been in the Secret Six, I was aligned with better than others in that Secret Six, which I found out after the game. But that will be saved for another after show. But I know that round, though, after the fact, it wasn't going to be me. And that originally it was either going to be Nate going in against him or it would have been Jason going in against Steven, whichever one of them they thought could eliminate Steven, was from my understanding. But you guys could correct me if I'm wrong on that. But from my understanding, that's what I was under the impression of.
Clay?
Sorry, I stopped listening a little bit, but
No, you're good.
I think it was always in my eyes it was always gonna be Jason and Nate or Steven and Nate. Like I never had thought in my head I was going to do Sivo for the alpha, no matter what the vote would be. It was either going to be Jason or Nate if one of them was already said, or it was going to be Steven. And then, of course, if one of the 6 members decided to be crazy, it was going to be them. So never, I don't think Sivo was ever like a name for me that round.
Okay, cool. So we then move into, the Secret Six sort of kind of has a meeting where Cam's crying, Joel's crying, and Mike is saying, Mike, Kevin, and Clay, you come up there and you guys are like, this is how the game is played. We have to play this way or people are going to do it to us. So do you still stand on that, Clay?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't feel, like I said, I personally don't feel like it was a dirty move, but I also wasn't the ones that had just told them I wasn't putting them in or whatever. So for me, it wasn't a dirty move. I didn't owe Jason or Nate anything. I enjoyed Jason and Nate. I liked them as people, but I didn't owe them anything. And so for me, it wasn't like, oh, I have to play dirty to win. No, like I had to play smart, and those were 2 people that could possibly beat me in a physical competition or could give me a run for my money. So I thought I need to put them in. One of them needs to go. It's also, they were at this point very obviously a duo. They were very working together. And so getting one of them out was not a bad thing in any sense for me.
Yeah. Jason said, Clay speaking the truth. He never promised anything. Was a great move.
And can I say, after watching the episode, I don't know where I was for that. I didn't even notice that. I think everyone was upstairs having that conversation when it happened. So I was clueless about that. But now, like, hearing, like, after watching, I listened into, like, what Kevin and Clay said, like, how people did betray them at times. And, like, people are going to do what they have to do to win. It made sense why they did what they did. But I was like, no one even told me the plan that round. Like, I had no idea that everyone was going to flip on Nate. I was still 100% sure that it was going to be Steven.
Nobody
But I
told
do
you.
understand.
Nobody told you the plan because you weren't a part of the plan, CeeLo. Stop saying that. You were not part of that plan, so you were not gonna know that information.
That don't matter.
It does matter because you keep saying like nobody told you. Of course, nobody was gonna tell you. We weren't working with you. Why would we tell you that information? Like that doesn't make sense to me.
To be nice.
Girl, get the fuck out of here. Anyways, what's the next question?
No, at that point, we only need the 6. And then with Kevin locking in Steven's vote as well, we knew we had it. So we didn't have to reach out to other people. We didn't have to try to find other votes. We knew it was going to work out. And if it didn't, we have the backup already there because the only reason it wouldn't have worked out is if one of the 6 flipped. So we knew we had it in the bag.
Yeah.
Right.
So I will say, and I don't know, let's talk about it as a group. I think Steven was the key holder to potentially shaking this game up because at this point they still don't. Nobody knows the Secret Six is a thing, and I think if this was the round for Steven to strike, because if Steven would have band together with Jason, Nate, and Sivo, the rookies, basically, he could have potentially sent in Cam. He could have sent in Joel. He could have sent in Zay, and then Clay would have had to send in somebody to face off with them. This is obviously playing the what if game, but if one of the Secret Six members had gone down, Clay, how would you have handled that? Would you have still went with a Nate move, a big move like that, a Steven move, or would you try to benefit their game and give them someone they prefer to go against?
Obviously, it's a what if question, so it's hard to put yourself back in that spot. But I mean, thinking about it now, I would probably want to give them somebody I feel like they could beat. But in the moment, obviously the friendship that we've built has kept building from that game till now. So now I'm like, oh yeah, I want to give them someone to beat. However, in that moment, would I have been like, I don't really know these people that well. I could still go with the big move. If they get them out, it's great for us. If they get my Secret Six member out, well, maybe they could beat me. You never know what I would have been in that moment. But I think because I don't feel like we talked about it at all because we were
No,
really
we haven't.
confident. Yeah, we were really, really confident in what was going to happen happened. But so it would have been a very spur of the moment. Whatever I decided to do would have just happened, and I don't know what it would have been.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. So the blind elimination happens, and I think majority of the house wanted Jason back, but Jason ends up taking out Nate, and he returns into the house, and he's saying he's coming for you, Clay. He's coming for Kevin. He's coming for Zay, Mike, all of you guys. At that point in the game, I guess for all three of you, was the line drawn, and are you guys ready to go head to head with the other side at this point? We'll start with Sivo.
Me, even when Jason came back, I was still feeling like, okay, I'm still good with Jason because I haven't said like anyone else's name yet. So, and me and Jason were working together since round one. So it would have been hard for us to try finding numbers at that point, like if we needed to do something, because again, we didn't realize that everyone was working together at that point, and really the only recruit was Steven, because prior to that, he kept coming up to the rookies like, "Hey, we should work together. We should do this. We should do that." But in the back of our heads, it was like, can we really do that? Knowing that we don't know who's going to vote where or who's aligned with who at that sense. But I think like at that point, I did feel a little bit of confidence, like because I did speak to members of the Secret Six without knowing they were in the Secret Six, and they were like, "You're good. Stop worrying." So I got that a little bit of reassurance.
Cam,
Um, wait, what was the question?
are you ready to go to like basically war head to head with the other side?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, if you look at it, I never did Jason wrong. So him coming back into the game, like he wouldn't be coming for me because I didn't say his name. So the only person I was really worried about was if Nate came because we all said his name. So of course he had something to like come for us, you know? So with Jason coming back, I really wasn't worried. I was just like, okay, the line was drawn and I'm just gonna stick with my side at this point.
What about you, Clay?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you throw somebody in, especially in that instance, even though we were a pack, I was the one that physically had to say his name. Anytime you do that to somebody, you have to expect they're going to come back for you. I will say, Jason's very good at making you feel like everything is still good. Never would have thought he was saying, he's coming for me. But again, like I said, if you throw somebody in, you have to expect they're coming for you. So totally understandable, but I will just give him his props and say he's very good at making you feel comfortable again and making you feel like there's no hard feelings, things like that. So give him his props, but I definitely knew and was confident that Secret Six would be fine. Um, I just felt like we were strong enough, we could win the competitions, and that we could go to war and be fine.
Okay. So you guys we break the news to you that you're making it to day two. Clay, you've made it far in the game multiple seasons. You've played, you're probably the most seasoned vet at this point on the season. Sivo and Cam, this is your first time making to day two and playing. So we'll start with Cam. How does it feel to make it into day two, knowing that you're going to day two?
Knowing and making it today too, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I was so excited. I was like, whoo, like I'm one step closer. I'm just just put my all in this. I don't know. I was just very excited because like as I keep bringing it up, like my rookie season, it was just cut short. So now that I'm making it further than what I did before, it's just like, yeah, I'm in the feelings. And no, I didn't cry. So I didn't cry that time. Whatever. But yeah, I was really excited. Like it was something brand new to me. And really I was just like, now it was time to like lock in. Like I was locked in before like day one, but day two is like, okay, now shit is about to start getting real. Like it's time to lock in for real.
And Sibo, how did you feel being one of the few rookies to make it to day two?
I was actually really excited because I was the only rookie not to see an elimination day one. Like I kind of like escaped past that. I was just really excited because in all the games I played besides the Survivor game, I never made it past day one. And to make it to day two was just like a really great feeling. It's like, okay, I just got to keep pushing and trying to move forward and just trying to push myself to that limit to see what I can do.
And then Clay, what are you expecting in day two as a veteran who's played this game? Did you expect for the game to be switched up? Do you expect it's going to be harder? Like, what's your mindset going into day two?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, every season I've been in, I've made it to day two. So, you know, um, I knew it would change, especially with this season and how small it was. We had a smaller cast than usual. I knew that it would change because the numbers were so low already, even after day one. Um, did I have any idea of what it would be? No, but I knew it would change. I knew things would be different. Like I said before, with Dre Media, everything changes all the time. So you just have to be ready for it and ready to adapt.
Yeah. So we go right into the daily challenge, and actually, let's rewind. Before going into the daily challenge, there's conversations going on. There's a conversation between Cam, Joel, and Mike. There's a conversation between Steven and Jason, and in that Jason and Steven conversation, um, Steven's telling Jason like Kevin is with us. He's with us. Um, he said Cam, Zay, and Joel will be willing to turn on Kevin. But Mike, I mean, yeah, like basically that you three would be willing to turn on the alliance, but Clay, Mike, and Kevin were locked in. So I just want to talk to you guys about that. At any point in that moment, Cam and Clay, did you guys feel like you would turn on each other, or did night the day one solidify anything? Was that a rumor? Was that a thought? Where do you guys stand? Where you guys listen to that conversation?
I never said that I would turn on my alliance. Really, what solidified us was day one, like us sticking together, and especially us voting for Nate and like sticking with that plan and like moving forward with that plan. That really locked all of us in. Like, of course, me, Zay, and Joel, we was like, okay, like I don't know if we should do this, da da da, whatever. But like once we locked in, we was locked in. So I wasn't gonna turn on my alliance. I don't know where that came from or who said that, but that's not how I play.
Yeah, for me, there was just no reason to. That's the biggest thing I can say is there was no reason to turn on my alliance. I felt confident in the alliance abilities. I felt confident we could win stuff. So for me, it was kind of like, why turn on something if I think these people can win competitions? Like, why make them mad if I think they could win and then they could take me out? Instead of just keeping them with me and we just keep winning as a team.
Okay. So we get into the daily. It's called the ranks. It's a very physical daily. You guys are basically wrestling for um ring, and you're on a wrestling mat. You can't go out of bounds. It's eliminator style. Clay, you end up going in first round, and you have to face Mike. He also complimented you, saying you are probably the strongest guy to play the game. Do you think that um, you are a physical threat? Do you think that you've earned that title? Do you think in the past people weren't as intimidated by you than they are now? Like, how did you get that rep?
I definitely think that I'm a physical threat. I don't agree that I am the strongest person that's played or that nobody can touch me in those kind of competitions. There's definitely people that can beat me that have beat me. Um, I do think I'm definitely a threat. I think I can beat a lot of people, but I won't say that I can beat everybody.
Okay. Um, Cam, let's talk about your heat with Clay. Um, you were getting by your words like a rag doll. Let's talk about it. Did you guys, was that acting? Was that real? Clay, do you feel bad? Cam, do you have any words for Clay after telling him not to drag you? Let's talk about that entire.
He, bro. Okay, guys, look. This it might have been entertaining, but he was literally dragging me around like no funny shit. We had a conversation before going to start heat. I said, look, I see what you're doing down here. You tossing bitches around. Don't do that to me, okay? Do not flip me around like I'm a walk. Like I don't know. Don't flip me around like that. So we was going into it, and I was just like, I don't know. But then he started throwing me around, and I'm just like, oh, so this is what we're doing now? Okay, whatever. But honestly, I was having fun. Like if you can see, I was laughing the whole time. Every time I got like thrown on the ground, I was laughing. So like, you guys are welcome, the audience members and fans. I took one for the team. Okay, shoot.
Cam was like a kid on the playground, just like having fun.
No, literally, like everybody was laughing. Like I was like, "What? Why y'all laughing? That's not funny." I'm for real.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't acting in the sense of we were playing, we were doing the challenge. It's just within that heat, there was no bad blood. Neither one of us were trying to hurt each other. Um, so it just got a little fun. But I knew I was gonna win, and so
Girl,
had the
you
bitch
didn't know.
tried,
You did not know you was gonna win because I could have
had the
pulled out
bitch
some
tried to
guns and
win,
thrown your
then
ass
I would have had to
around.
really throw him. But that was just a little throw.
Bitches be lying.
Sivo, let's talk about your heat. You had to face off with Jason, and you straight up said, "We're gonna act this out. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm not trying to get hurt." So, tell me a little bit about your heat and why were you worried to get hurt?
So I saw what Clay did round one, and I was like, whoever wins, they said in the rules, they're gonna have to go against the other people. So now I was like, what if I get thrown in against Clay? I saw how strong he was against Mike already, and I was like, I probably would have been leaving there in a stretcher if I would have went against like someone who's like that much stronger than me. And I was like, okay. So me and Jason were like, we were as soon as we like got called, we started walking. As soon as we turned to walk, I was like, okay, let's just give them a little show. Like tussle for like at least 30 seconds. I want them. And then just like tell me when to let go. And it's like if you see like right before he pulls the ring from my hand, like right when I was like, oh, I don't want to go out of bounds. Like he whispered to me, it's time to let go. And I said, just pull it. Like I whispered it back. So he pulled it and I let go. Like I could have held on probably for a little bit longer, but at that time I was like, okay, we gave him enough show. Like we hope that it looks kind of real, and we didn't get hurt. And I felt also in that time, out of the two of us, I felt like Jason was probably more physically prepared to go against somebody else in another heat than I was at that moment in time.
Mhm. Okay. So we do end this episode on a cliffhanger, and it ends with Zay going in against Steven. The Alliance wants Zay to hold on and throw the competition to DQ Steven. Steven is trying to cut deals and telling Zay not to DQ, and Zay himself doesn't want to DQ. So we're in for, we don't know what's going to happen. There's different things that can happen. There's many outcomes that could come from this daily. But right now, the people that are left and eligible to win are Zay or Steven, Clay, and Joel. But I think that ends the recap with the episode. I do want to talk about, what we think is to come in the future. We're at the halfway mark. How you guys are feeling watching it back. So my first question is, without spoilers, what do you think in that moment the format change is going to be? We'll start with Kim.
What the format change will be? I don't know, cause like when the format be changing, it's like it be out of nowhere. Like on Double Trouble, we were together, like we was with our duos, and then next thing you know, we had to split from our duos. So now, like the format, it could be, we can split into teams, like this team, that team, which wouldn't be too bad, but just I wouldn't want to be on the same team that I was on the first round. As you can see, what happened that round, we was getting tossed around again. I feel like this season was like tossed around Cam, because in that first round, the first daily, Clay bum rushed me. If y'all didn't know, he bum rushed me and knocked my glasses off. And I was like, okay. And then you see Amir bum rushing me again. So I'm just like, I feel like people got a vendetta against me or something. Because bitch, what's up? What's tea? Like, what's going on with y'all for real?
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all hate me? I need to know, Clay.
Oh, Clay did say he stepped away for 5 minutes, but he will be back. So we will ask him when he comes back. But Zero, what do you think the twist could potentially be, or what are you hoping for the format to be?
I was thinking like it was going to be the damn marbles. Everyone's going to have to reach in and pull out a marble, and that was going to be your teammate for like the rest of the game. So I thought it was going to be like a team scenario thing, like kind of like how they did on the challenge, where you have a teammate, you'll go into elimination, you'll face that teammate. The winner will be like safe for the next round, and then like the next team that goes in, whoever loses from that will be that person's new. Whoever wins will be that person's new teammate. Like kind of like a team rotating type challenge thing. That's what I was thinking it was going to be, or something with a team somehow with the marbles picking out of the twists. So I wasn't too sure, and then I didn't really know what else to expect because again, this is my first time on Dre Media, so I don't know what kind of crazy things that you guys have in store. But I don't know if I was actually ready, but I'm gonna say I was kind of ready.
Okay, so if you are not to go home this round, Cam and Sivo, who would you want your partner to be for the next round with the people remaining in the game?
Cam. No.
First off, let me tell y'all something. Sivo, we will never be partners again. Do you understand that?
Lies.
You hear me and hear me clear. Because
Lies.
what you did, and I couldn't get on that live last summer. What you did on that trivia was real fucked up, bitch. And for you to keep saying Deja's name like you wanted to lick her cootie cat from the back is real motherfucking crazy.
But mind you, I got more than one answer right. I got Sabina right also.
I don't care about Sabina.
We knew Brady was right. So I got at least 4 answers right, not one.
Just don't be my partner again on the trivia.
I would pick Cam just because she don't want me to be his partner.
And you're gonna lose. If you do that, we're gonna lose and just go into elimination. So I'm ready to go home. Boo.
No, but if I really had to pick a partner, I would want either Clay or Jason because I feel like they were two of the stronger people at that time, or Kevin. But then I feel like if people got to choose, they wouldn't have picked me. I probably wouldn't have the last one chosen, but I would have won for either Clay after seeing how physical he was against other people, or Jason because not knowing what the elimination was, but knowing like he does have the brains and the willpower, or Kevin because he was coming off a recent victory from the other season.
Back to the question. If I had to pick a partner, strategically, I would pick Steven because, of course, you see that me and Steven are rivals. So if I can keep us both safe or something, or like, it'll be smart to pick him because we are going after each other. So like, in my head, it makes sense. But if I didn't pick him, I'd probably pick Joel. I feel like Joel would be a really good partner.
Okay.
I think you and Joel would have made it to the end if you guys were partners because no one would have bothered you guys.
I mean, y'all have no reason. Like, me and Joel didn't do nothing to you bitches. We was sitting there crying, minding our business, sipping our wine. What is y'all talking about?
Oh, wait. Anyway. Let's talk about that real quick.
Talk about what?
Cam confessed to me this week.
No, I didn't. No. Okay, wait. I lied. I just said it for a kiki. Please. Don't be spilling my business.
This man was sipping wine in that scene, in the first morning scene when he was having conversation because he was anxious and nervous about day 2. So he had wine in his.
So this is true. So that morning, everybody was getting ready and like we're conversating. We're like everybody's like talking and stuff. I literally went to the side, got that big. I don't know. It was like that big bottle of wine. I opened my thing. I just poured the whole bottle of wine in there. So when you see me taking a sip and you think it's water, I was drinking wine to calm my nerves. And I'll do it again if I have to.
Period. Clay, Cam had a question for you. He said, "Do you hate him?" I forgot why, but he asked,
Oh,
"Do
for
you?"
tossing him around.
Oh yeah, because the question basically this was toss Cam around season. So of course you see when you bum rushed me in the first challenge and knocked my glasses off. Then I mirror bum rushed me in elimination. Then you tossed me around in the day. Like I just need to know, like, do you hate me or like what's tea?
So I don't hate you, but I'm very big on letting people know where they stand. You
Oh,
can't be having people going around thinking they some big bad thing when they ain't.
girl, that's real tea. I can't wait to see you again.
Oh, so okay, so now that we are talking about the behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff, what my next question would be for you guys: what should the viewers expect from the remainder of the season, since we are at the halfway mark? And we'll start with Clay.
Hey, you're up.
Sorry, I get really skippy for me. I don't know why. It's probably my service out here. But the rest of the season, you can expect from me to continue trying to win competitions. That was one of my goals going into this season, was to win as many competitions as I could. So I'm still trying to do that. Um, at this point, I'm still trying to stay loyal to the Secret Six as much as I can. And I am trusting in my alliance and trusting in my own abilities and trying to get my damn win.
Your first final, as a matter of fact. Sivo, what should we expect from you and the season? No spoilers.
What you could expect from me is more confessional gangsterisms. I guess that's what everyone's calling me now, apparently. Um, but I do talk a lot more in my confessionals, and my confessionals, by the way, were a lot longer than what they showed. They weren't that little quick clip. There was a lot more to it. Just saying. Um, but I think like you'll expect a lot more tears and a lot more competition and just us competing to be the best.
For sure. And Cam.
What you can expect. Are we saying like what we can expect from ourselves, right?
And in general this
Without
season.
spoilers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What you can expect. Well, I can say what you can expect from me is more tears because I'm a big ass crybaby. So you expect me to cry on your screen. And also just I don't know. I don't want to say too much. I just need you guys to tune in because it's shit about to get real and it's just unexpected stuff that's gonna happen. I don't think anybody's ready for the unexpected stuff because like you're gonna get gagged, like mouth dropping.
Yeah.
But the entertaining is me crying. So I hope y'all ready for my tears.
Period. All right. And then my final question, unless you guys have anything you want to talk about or bring up before the recap is over, is if it is up to you, who do you want to see go home next? And we'll start with Sivo.
Um, since the beginning, I've only been saying one name, so I'm gonna continue saying that name, Steven. So I would like to see Steven go just because I feel like he's been in a lot. It's like, look, your time has to come sooner than later. You could go. Bye.
Oh. All right. Cam.
Mind you, that was in the moment too, also.
Steven. I mean, that's the only person I really had something towards. So I mean, if he goes home next, he goes home. But you know, Cameron's votes will never change. It's gonna be Steven every time.
Period. And Clay?
Little note to Sivo's answer was also you've been saying my name, first of all.
No, I
Didn't
never
say
said your name this season. I only voted you the first round because I didn't know what the thing was, but I knew they weren't going to send you home.
You're right. You didn't say my name because you couldn't remember my name. But
Oh,
you said it.
fuck that tea.
But I remember your name
Secondly,
now.
Secondly, I would say at this moment in the game for me, it would be Steven or Jason going home would be the best for me.
Okay. All right. So I think that's really what the recap is this episode. It was a shorter episode. Another cliffhanger. I know everybody hates those, but it's keeping y'all tuned in. Is there anything you guys want to talk about, comment, mention before we end this recap?
I want to say something based off of last week's recap real quick. Based due to contrary belief though, I did want to stay in the game, and yes, I did have something to do prior to even being casted, but I did
Let him talk.
no because
Let him
they
talk.
said that how I didn't want to be there,
Mute
but I
him.
did want to be there. I do want to be
Mute
there,
him.
and I did want to be there, and I was not giving up my spot for nothing.
Girl.
Cameron,
What, Sibo?
I
You
don't know.
the
You
one that
said
came. You the one that came on this season being messy as fuck and having us like crazy
hey, hey, hey,
gameplay.
hey, hey. Guess what? Guess
Guess
what?
what? Nothing. You were
We're gonna be
crazy.
partners one season, and you're gonna love it.
No, I'm not. And we're not.
Yes,
I'm
you
gonna
are.
sit. No, we're not. If we
Clay, tell him he's
mark
gonna
my
love it.
words, Drake, you can hold me to this. If we and Sibo are partners on any future seasons,
We're
when
gonna
you get
win.
sent home, I don't care.
No, we're gonna win.
No, we're not. I'm gonna
Yes,
purposely
we
get us
are.
sent home because I don't want. I don't like messy
We're
gameplay.
gonna win.
Y'all gonna
Don't
go
be
home
messy.
because neither one of y'all can win the competition.
Oh.
Bitch, yes I can. Weak ass
Hold
home.
on. Although I could have sworn I was in the top two the first two challenges.
You were in the top two because somebody brought you in, girl. Stop
No,
playing on people
the
top.
second challenge I technically won it, right? Because of
With
my
the
advantage.
advantage.
But that still
No.
counted.
If you didn't have the advantage, you would have been gone. What are you talking about?
It does
girl?
count, but
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. I had it. I won it.
A daily win is a daily win. I will say that.
Hey, did you have
Okay,
the
girl.
season, Cam?
Cam wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know, girl, but it's okay because I have I have eliminations under my belt. It's just I don't care.
How many?
Cam, have you yet to win a daily yet?
No, I have not. My first season, I got sent home. I couldn't do nothing, and then this season, bitch, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Like I'm
But
just
mind
here.
you, this is my first season. I made it further than you did on your first season.
Well, let's see if you come back. Let's see how far you make it when you come back. Fuck is you talking about?
Let's see.
Let's see.
We'll see. We'll see. But all right, we have a lot more of game and a lot of chatting to do at the reunion, so we'll wrap it up here. But thank you so much for the three of you joining. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you to the supporters in the chat: Andre, Jason, Jocelyn, Tootie, Kevin, Zay. I saw all your comments and all your love every week is very, very much appreciated. What's it called? Make sure to tune in every Sunday for the Caucus Challenge new
Are you
episode.
doing a rapid fire this round?
No, we are not doing a rapid fire. We got to keep all the drama, all the juiciness for the reunion. But I will say, I think I made a mistake the last recap. I said something about the finale. I said December 17th, thinking we were a month ahead, and we're not. So the finale is November 17th.
Period.
Please make sure to stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And I promise you, the season just gets better and better. That's all I have to say. Again, thank you guys for being here. And until next week, have a good night, fam.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye.